thought this video was interesting. It's titled "Gamers Are Jealous of Kai Cenat" by Hello Yassine. What gamers are jealous of Kai? I'm curious.
What's poppin', yo? We're finally getting the answers to one of the most bizarre facts about Kai Cenat's Mafiathon 3, which is the #1 gifter. And the #1 gifter, which is giving subs to other people within his chat, is Valorant, which is a video.
Bro, Valorant is giving everybody. There's literally a deal where they're giving everybody subs. I'm gonna keep it a buck though. Kai fleeced the fuck out of Valorant. Bro, how many subs have they gifted him? Like 60,000 subs? He's about to put them out of business. You know their budget was not meant to be this high.
Video game and free-to-play online FPS game by Riot Games. And the second most gifted person.
Damn, Valorant, 60,000 subs, bro.
Or the first.
Wait, what? Snoop Dogg with 46,000 subs. That makes sense. Zoil! Isn't that the streamer? Zoil with 23,000 subs. 23,000 times $5. I didn't even know Zoil was making... I didn't know he was that rich. Crocs...
First individual is Snoop Dogg, who's at #2, who gifted him around 50,000. The reason why this is so odd is because just the amount that they gifted, which is 60,000 plus, is well over $300,000 that they had to spend on gifts.
Ooh,
And
you know they're not doing that promotion again. You know the market. Hey, why are we over on the budget? Because Kai Cenat's Mafiathon 3. That's how you know bro is goated. There's gonna be like meetings about the budget and the spending at the in the next month or 2 months. They're gonna talk about this.
Kai Cenat is somebody who I don't think has ever even logged onto that game or played it a single time or plans on playing it. For instance, I Show Speed, he's played the game before. He's played it a couple of different times. There was a popular clip of him yelling at some girl that was on his team because she was talking trash, and people tried to paint Speed in a certain light, and that didn't work out. But we're finally getting some answers, and Valorant, their actual somebody that works for them, gave the response. But this tweet gave some context, and it said the following.
Valorant was receiving negative feedback about its spending on September, namely 360,000 on Kai Cenat, prompting the head of Valorant to respond to the criticism. Most interesting, I mean, it's automated. It was literally a promotion, so if you would have gifted me 5 subs, it would have been an extra sub that Valorant would have blessed up. God's plan. They've just planned this shit at the wrong time. More interestingly, he discloses that Valorant doesn't pay for the subs. Instead, they pay for the naming rights. Huh? What does that mean? The naming rights? This is fascinating to me. Valorant would have paid millions of dollars to Twitch, considering the extensive advertising spread across every channel and banners, in the checkout flow, in chats, on the sub leaderboard, and in marketing materials, among other places. It's a massive campaign that must have cost a significant amount. But it brings up the question, what costs more? The cost Twitch pays to creators for all the bonus subs, or the price of naming rights / marketing campaign? It has to be the latter, because dear God, if not.
Valorant was receiving negative feedback about its spending on September, namely $360,000 on Kai Cenat, prompting the head of Valorant to respond to the criticism. So this criticism was coming from Valorant players, because a lot of Valorant players, especially the ones that follow the competitive scene, because there's a competitive scene of professional players in this game, they're like, yo, this game is messed up, this game sucks, and you guys are donating to this guy who doesn't even play your game? What the hell?
Nah, he's gonna build this. They already got a framework for the schools. Schools don't get built immediately.
What's up with that? Keep in mind, the reason why I assume this is the conversation is because this is every single game. Their player base all feels like it sucks, at least at that point in time. And then
yeah, I peep that.
Reminisce on the good old days when they also said that it sucked at that point in time. But it says, September is also something where Twitch urged that for the millions of banners in the checkout flow, massive camp, when it may have costed 10 times as much, if not more, to the people are talking about the donations of subs to Kai Cenat, when it may have costed 10 times as much, if not more, to make Valorant the video game as the spread of September. So the way that it works is, let's say I gift a
So that money wasn't coming out of Valorant. Whoa, it just hit me. Whoa, I just processed it. They didn't pay that money. It wasn't Valorant. They paid for their name to be the account to gift the subs. So it was never Valorant in the first place. Whoa, that just hit. Whoa.
Random streamer 5 subscriptions. Valorant automatically donates 1 subscription. But what this guy is saying here is that it's not Valorant that's donating the subscription. They just had these rules in place with Twitch, and Twitch is the one that's donating the subscriptions or handling the payment of the subscriptions. They're not paying these creators individually. They paid Twitch to make sure that Valorant is across everything September for that entire month. And they go on to say, but it brings up the question, what costs more? The cost Twitch pays to creators for all the bonus subs or the price of the naming rights marketing campaign? It has to be the latter. Of course, it's for sure the latter. So while Valorant isn't directly paying for the bonus subs, it is funding the entire campaign, and hopefully Twitch is profiting from it. Ultimately, I'm not really sure why Valorant is receiving negative feedback though. Marketing campaigns cost money, and there's no better target market than a platform where 70% of the content is gaming. This is just the cost of doing business and keeping your product top of mind with consumers. Could the campaign be more targeted? Sure, but I doubt that's a capability Twitch currently has to split up September sponsors by content type. Alas, still find the whole thing truly fascinating. And this was the head of Valorant who tweeted as a response, because the original tweet that was spreading everywhere, what even is Riot's marketing budget here? At a minimum for tier 1 subs, that's like $360,000. And he says, for context, this campaign is part of Twitch's September, which this year is presented by Valorant in celebration of Champions. Champions is the global...
I don't give a fuck. Kai has what, 170,000 to like 200,000 people watching him? Minimum? At any given time? Bro, what is the number one step in the marketing funnel, bro? These companies don't give a fuck. Let me show you this. I'll put y'all on game. This is the marketing funnel. Awareness is the first step. You know how, bro, the people who watch Kai, how many of them are really gamers? 2025 Kai Cenat viewers. Mafiathon. They don't know about games. So when them seeing that Valorant is gifting all these subs, they're gonna be like, okay, what's Valorant? They go to Google and Google what Valorant is, right? Then they see it's a game, and then they be like, okay, this is a game, boo, 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 boo. Then it leads back to some people would consider playing the game because the game is free. So boom, then some people play the game and they fall in love with it, and then eventually, you know what I mean, loyalty and advocacy, which means advocacy means putting people onto the game. So that's all a part of the marketing funnel. They don't give a fuck who they're promoting it to.
Oh, I think it's once a year tournament. Don't quote me on that, but I think that Champions is the tournament that they have. It's like the biggest event of the year.
So what's the problem here?
Competitively, and it gets a ton of viewership. Every partner and affiliate on the platform benefits from this. An automatic gift sub for every 5 gifted subs, with Twitch matching your gifted sub, and then he gives them the details. And then he says, so Twitch pays for all the subs, and Valorant just paid to get the naming rights and promote champs? Or am I misunderstanding? He says, yes, that's correct. We're sponsoring the event, not gifting the subs, which adds a lot of context. Because people are thinking like, what the hell? Why is this video game focusing on Kai Cenat? Granted, think about how many people saw Valorant for the first time and became aware of it on Kai Cenat's stream when it's the
Great minds think alike.
top gifted name on there. It was probably good for them that they did it in September, because a ton of people that watch Kai will probably
see now I know is the naming rights. Perfect, because all that money's coming out of Twitch. Come on,
check out the game. But there was pushback from the Valorant community, and one of the people that was attached on this tweet, a separate user, said Riot has received a lot of criticism for not supporting the tier 2 competitive scene Valorant. Tier 2 competitive scene is basically, like, think about like the G League or the D League of the NBA.
Man, what? Who the fuck bro? No, nobody. Oh my god, bro. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Everybody wants a fucking handout. Oh, why don't you guys start supporting the G League? Because you're not the NBA, bitch. Y'all are the G League. No one gives a fuck about y'all. Y'all are... What? I'm sorry. Look, bro, Valorant will probably not say it, but I'm gonna say it. Nobody gives a fuck. I didn't even know. Today was the day. I am 27 years old. I learned today, I am today years old, that I learned that there's a Valorant G League. Why the fuck would I want to watch somebody who's decent at the game? You're not even better than the actual first string pros. The only people who watch that is fanatics. Don't even make sense.
People that can't hack it, or the people that are close to getting to the next level, but they're not there yet, and they're in this limbo kind of scene where are they going to make it as professional players or are they not? Besides people not understanding marketing sponsorship agreements, I think fans get very frustrated with VCT, Valorant, Champion something, and lack of support for the scene except for Tier 1. So they think this money should have been invested into the Valorant competitive scene instead of this, when they do the math out of Riot was truly paying
But that's not even their bread.
for all of these Tier 1 subs. No, that's absolutely false and it's wrong. And this is the thing with competitive. The people that follow...
No, I'm not gonna lie, these Valorant competitive players, they are so fucking good, bro. If there's a G League, that means that you can't even hang with the pros.
Or participate in the competitive side of games is that they overvalue how much value or how much money, how much revenue they drive for the company. It is such a small scene. Nearly all of these professional leagues are a loss of money for the organization. They do not make money. They are not very...
Yeah, esports itself doesn't make money. Now you have a G League. That shit is probably read every year on some WNBA shit. What are we talking about? Imagine telling a girl, yeah, I'm a G League Valorant player. What?
Very profitable, and they're taking an L on them. And that's for the Tier 1 scene, which is the best players in the game. Now, when you start dropping down to Tier 2, why are they going to put more money in there? Right. When these Tier 2 players...
Yeah, we want to keep you hungry, bitch. Why would we give you money? Grind to get up to Tier 1. What the fuck?
Are just people that are interested in watching, including watching competitive games. They are such a tiny minority. So why would they spend more money on them when it's the casual players and getting new players into the game that's going to give them more revenue? And then with more revenue, they can divvy it up and invest more into these leagues that are losing them money anyway. Because the more excess money that the game has, the more that they can just throw it at the competitive league. It's kind of like Fortnite, right? Like Fortnite's a battle royale. There's like RNG involved. I'm not saying it's not competitive, but the game wasn't designed with the intention of it being competitive and like, oh, this person versus this person as a
Peterbot. Now, the Fortnite pro scene, bro, there's people who are fucking dedicated to watching that shit. Wait, what's better? What's bigger? I'm gonna Google this right now. The Fortnite, which is bigger? Fortnite pro scene or Valorant? Find out. Oh, wow. The Valorant pro scene is larger in terms of viewership and structured professional support. That's crazy. I would have thought Fortnite was bigger.
Opposed to, let's say, like a Rocket League, for instance, or even a FIFA or an NBA where there's a competitive aspect to it and it makes sense. But Fortnite makes so much money that they just start tossing it at the champions. And that is what happens with Riot's other game, for instance, like League of Legends. The most played, so there's
yeah, isn't this the most played video game, like, category on Twitch? Outside of just chatting?
Types, or I think there's multiple types. So there's different game modes. There's Summoner's Rift, which is like a map, and there's normal and ranked games
Geek talk.
Within that map. Ranked games are people that play competitively, and then there's normals, which are less competitive. There's not like a ranking system. But the most played game mode is ARAM, which is neither of those two that I just mentioned. It's like I think it stands for all random, all mid. And it is the most played game mode. It has the highest player base, and these people buy skins to just like look cool in game, like it's microtransactions. And
bro, I never played World of Warcraft, but I did play this one game one time. I think I did play League of Legends once. I had a friend who used to play League of Legends heavy, so he like got me to try it, but I didn't like it.
And these people who never play competitive, they may not even watch.
Oh, what? If I had a time machine, oh my god. If I had a time machine and I could jump back to myself in 7th grade, I put my hand on my shoulders, just play the fucking game, bitch, and grow to love it, and stream it. I could have been on some Pogger shit. I could have been lit. I could have been one of the biggest streamers in the world, bro. I could have been like Pokimane.
Competitive. They are the ones that are generating all of the money for Riot, in particular this game, League of Legends. And it's probably the same thing in Valorant too, except nature of the FPS game, they're all playing the same maps as opposed to the different game modes that exist in a League of Legends. So I think this is a good move, but well, I don't know if it's a good move because we're going to have to see, but if Valorant's goal is how are we...
Do you know how many people watch that shit though? Bro, what? You know how many people got their start on World of Warcraft and League of Legends? If you would have started back then, bro, what? You could have been lit as fuck. You could have been lit as fuck. You wouldn't have a brain rot fucking audience. You wouldn't have to clip farm and do all that extra shit. Then you could have been one of the elder statesmen, collaborated with all the new people. Then you could have diversified your fucking content, and then boom, now you just a superstar. You know what I mean? Like a lot of those people who were streaming the game back then, like, bro, Pokimane? Bro, what? That's how she started.
Going to get
or
more,
like you could be like one of those Overwatch streamers back in the day, man. What, on some XQC shit?
more new players into our game, then that is the right approach. And if that is getting them more new players into the game who will eventually spend money on the game, that is better than reinvesting into players that, let's keep it real, man, if people are interested in the competitive scene of a game, tier 2, tier 1, they're not going anywhere. They're addicted. And it's not addicted like they can't stop, but they will take the...
when I had a little run, I was never good at Valorant. I had a little run though, and I was playing with a viewer actually. He pops into the stream every once in a while. His name is Flock, Lord Flockaman. Bro, he stayed sending me clips of Valorant. Like the people who are like addicted to the game, they be tapped in with the professional scene, because a lot of those guys they're insane.
The pain, they will take the ups and downs that comes with the game. They will complain, but they won't go anywhere. And
yeah. No, Valorant is one of those games that will always have a huge community. Nizzy, are you WL? Yes.
Why are you going to keep...
Bro, I came from 2K. Come on, bro.
Reinvesting into somebody that's not going anywhere. That's not going to make you more money. So that's just the way I see it. But I'm really glad that we got this insight, because I think a lot of people are confused.
Yeah, a lot of people were fucking tripping, bro. I don't know. People don't Google shit nowadays. They just dumb.